All right, welcome to the inaugural name-pending audio discussion show for OSW.
So it's a good long title.
I know. So I am, as always, your party host, Mike Lane, Fastlane86, and I've got with me two of OSW's finest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, gentlemen.
Rob, you can go first.
I think you just did it for me. It's Rob.
Fair enough. And I'm Dawson, the guy who plays Sigil and whatever other character strikes my fancy for like 3 weeks.
Yep. The secondary is usually short-lived, dying in gruesome fashion.
The worst part is the ones who didn't know, the ones who weren't short-lived died in gruesome fashion. Is the ones who were short-lived that just, they were here, not anymore than not.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you do
Forget
good enough.
about them.
You come out of the gate and win against some big names at first, and then the character falls off the map and it's over.
Jack Jekyll had a good run.
He did. That's maybe the exception. What are all the characters that you've handled?
So I would hope everyone knows Lee Crowley, who, him and Smiley. I've handled Shadow, Nocturne, whatever you want to call him. Wolfgang, who you can only be a Nazi so much in a roleplay before you lose stuff to talk about. And I had Hate.
Hate, that's right.
And I remember actually I had a winning streak with him for a while, and then Dean actually asked me to drop him for a bit because the visual guy who played David Manson left. I've also had the Boogeyman, which he was undefeated before I lost at Red Snow. Or
Yes, most are undefeated before they lose.
Indeed.
You're a smart ass. No, I like a 9 win streak, and then I lost to Gaia. I lost to Gray.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Which, good on him. That was a good match. But I don't think I actually played anything else other than that I can remember.
You're forgetting No Face.
Oh shit! The funny thing is No Face. I loved him to death, but I don't know how I forgot him. Like, he was part of Injustice too, wasn't he?
He was, and I had Scarecrow behead him. That's why I remember No Face.
I went back and read that, and I was so fucking sad. I'm like, oh man, I like No Face. You picked the perfect time to kill him. Like, I had just pissed Dean off, and he's like, well, you're gone.
Yes.
And that one little, the funny thing is the reason I was actually able to come back to OSW was Cal vouched for me. So
that's right.
That's the sacrifice. Fucking Scarecrow killed No Face, and then Smiley got to live.
There you go. Rob, tell the viewing audience who probably already knows who you handle.
Okay, right now I'm the judge. Probably my most known character is Cale Gable. Let's see, there's been Luther Creed and Dante Xavier.
I remember Dante. Dante was a really cool character.
Yes, just the magician. Yeah, and it was probably a bad time to come in with a heavy magic character since there was so much that was changing, because it was right at the start of whatever season that was, where most everybody had new characters.
The start of the soft reboot was really good, in my opinion. Just every character felt really awesome. Yeah. We had all these cool storylines going. I remember Wolfgang. I feuded for 5 straight months with Maddie, who was using at the time. I can't remember the character's name off the top of my head for some reason. He was
Redmond Quinn.
Quinn. I kept wanting to call him Edward for a second there, but I feuded with him for like 5 months. And by month 5, I was like, Dean, please give me someone else to face at a pay-per-view. Like, I'm out of ideas, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is interesting whenever you have those feuds that last forever, and you're just like, I'd really like to mix it up.
Yeah, like those long feuds are really, really awesome, but you need to switch up something, or else you're gonna be out of ideas by pay-per-view number 3.
Yeah. So as our esteemed viewers can probably tell, we don't really have a format. We're just going off the cuff. I do want to kind of discuss Red Snow as we go through here, but that was some good discussion to start with.
Just to start off, I like to bring up the fact that I think Red Snow just overall has been really well set up this year. Mm-hmm. Not to say it's never not well set up, but I think this year in particular just feels really, really good because we have all these new characters, all these new storylines. Yeah. And I don't know, just something about this new. It feels somehow grittier than the last volume. This new volume.
It does. I can get with that. The vibe is completely different because so many of the older characters that kind of anchored everything aren't here. I mean, we only had 2 carryovers.
As far as Red Snow for this volume, though, I'd say that Monty Straight actually got a pretty big boost, especially now he's feuding with Junkrat. Yeah. And the same goes for Red Wing and the Luke Storm angle, actually, which I think we can all agree is a really good angle.
I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites this round.
And there's a lot of like chemistry of those two guys that I wasn't expecting when I first started reading the storyline this month, but it's really shined for me, honestly.
Yeah, it's been. I wasn't super sure when you just see it on the page and then you start to see what's unfolding. I think Adam is writing that and he's doing an amazing job with it.
Indeed.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah, for sure.
Another interesting angle is Veritas and Mez.
Yes.
That one actually caught me out of left field a bit, because when Veritas is, quote unquote killed at Locked In, I'm like, oh, so what the hell is Mez going to do for the entirety of this I guess this month? And like it's not like a lot of the storylines have really surprised me with how well crafted they were. Because and that's the thing with Lemmy for a lot of the beginning of a lot of months is I'm never sure how a storyline's going to actually be. I'm not saying that I have low standards or like I have low expectations, but I'm always like, well, how are these two characters going to fit?
Right.
And then by it's usually like halfway the show, I'm like, man, all this stuff is coming together beautifully. And I say that a lot of in fact, even like something with like Luke Marsh and Obasi Bakamo, I think is really good because both of them are new characters and they kind of need that.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I think something that's really helped this month is Dean gave some specific instructions for kind of what he needed set up for Red Snow, because he's writing all the segments for it.
He set up pretty much every segment, every storyline, I believe, except for I think 3 of them. I think actually one of them was Seesaw and Kenny Freeman was handed off to you, right, Rob?
Yeah, it's mine right now.
And were you given direction on that one or no?
He gave me the idea for the match, and that was about it. So pretty much do whatever.
Fair enough. And what's actually kind of funny is I was given direction for the X versus Goldern feud. And the reason that feud actually popped up was I brought the idea up to Dean for X and Goldern to face off later on down the line, because I made a mistake early on, like back in the X Whitlock and Goldern feud, where I didn't talk to Hayden about writing the match, and he wrote it that X was helping Goldern, even though they had that whole like standoff earlier on. And it turns out it actually aligned perfectly with what Dean had in mind for Red Snow.
The glorious, it all comes together.
But as far as like non-scripted stuff, the Judge, Banzan, and Scrimshaw feud wasn't directed all that much. In fact, I actually pitched the idea for that one.
Yeah, I've liked that one.
Well.
It's been pretty interesting, just how it all came together. One of the things for this season was going to be that deaths were less common and maybe more impactful. So, maybe.
And the funny thing about deaths being more impactful is we have Darby Shaw who dies like every week.
Right. So how about that storyline? That's probably the most important overarching storyline is what the heck is going on there, and just where that's going to lead. I feel like whatever leads us into season 2 will come out of that storyline. What do you guys think?
I'd say obviously I'm pretty happy about it. Because it's a sigil like launch pad, honestly. Like Darby Sorrow, like Connor is such a great writer, and the Sorrow characters like are stone cold.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it. I actually have a bit of a hunch of what they're going for as far as the artifact is. But I'm not going to say too much about it, purely because if I'm right, I don't want Dean to be like, hey Dawson, I'm going to kick your ass for like. For dropping the
he doesn't get too mad about that. I remember, I think it was Gray and I wrote in feedback every week for like 3 months that Happy didn't have a brother or a grandma or whatever it was, and that turned out to be the case.
Rob, what were your thoughts on Sigil and Sorrow? Because it's the big storyline of this month.
Oh yeah, it's definitely probably one of our biggest, maybe secondary to world championship feud. I've been enjoying about every month of it. I would feel Darby has definitely been launched, like you said, and if you can compete well with him, it would definitely be a launch pad for Sigil as well.
Yeah, actually, I'd ask, what do y'all think is kind of a sleeper storyline going into Red Snow? Like something that not many people are talking about.
Well, I'm going to say Seesaw and Kenny Freeman.
That's what I was going to say, actually.
Because I feel like just about every other feud is getting decent play and feedback threads and stuff. We already mentioned the Marshall-Bocamo feud, which would probably be the other option for that. I feel like the best thing about this Red Snow card is I feel like every feud is it feels important. And Seesaw Freeman has this just veneer of creepiness to it that I really like. I think I didn't know that those two characters would be a good match, but they've got that YouTube
chemistry
link, I guess. And I love Kenny Freeman. He's one of my favorite characters, just because of his whole vibe. My kids watch a lot of annoying YouTubers, so I'm right there on it.
I think that Alex just does such a great job of writing these faces.
Yeah,
these underdog characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I can't help but root for him. In fact, I actually wrote Seesaw versus Freeman the month previously.
Oh yeah,
and I was almost sad I didn't get it for this month because like I had so much fun writing those two because they have such good chemistry when you get down to it.
Yeah, and Seesaw's a character that I think it's really important to find the line and keep him on it, because he could either be too cheesy or too creepy, and he works best whenever he's creepy because he's cheesy.
Yeah, like a Freddy Krueger type.
Yeah. What about you, Rob? What's a sleeper story for you?
I was probably going to say the Obasi Luke Marshall storyline. None of them really feel like sleepers. The threats, no, they all have their strong ones for me, to be honest.
I can agree with that. And honestly, I think the writing this month has been top notch.
Yeah, I think one thing that maybe people that aren't on creative wouldn't maybe notice is just how dense the shows have been. Like the call sheets every week were just packed with segments, and most feuds had 2 and 3 segments a show, and that is not normal. Normally it's maybe 1 a show, sometimes 2 if you're a big feud. And it's been, I know that mine had 2 every show. I know that Storm and Red Wing had 3 on one show and 2 on another, and similar stuff for other feuds. It's been very dense, and of course quantity isn't everything, but the quality has been top notch, and the stories have really developed.
Mm-hmm. And I remember the call sheet went out on a Tuesday while I was at work, and I didn't realize it was out until I got home. By the time I got home from work, I checked and there's no spots left. I had to I was messing people on the side, hey, can I move your segment a little bit so I can make a little room? Because because the Judge, Bonzon, and Scrimshot storyline, the way I had it planned out when I mapped out how I was doing it was each one had their own segment each week, or more or less. And I'm like, how am I going to fit this? It was like Xing Golden is a godsend because I just need to put one segment and it works. Mm-hmm. In fact, actually, last week, didn't Seesaw and Freeman have 2 or 3 segments?
Right on. Okay, slight change of topic. What do you guys think about the coming soon videos, and what do you think they're leading to? I can't answer this because I know the answer.
Of course you know the answer. I'm pretty sure you edited those together, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. In fact, I want to ask if you can give us a slight hint, but I know you can't.
No, I probably shouldn't.
If you give us a hint, we might find out. See, here's the thing. I feel like I can guess this one.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
So the reason I think I can guess this one is there's a lot of agricultural imagery.
Okay.
So you got the flowers dying. We got the old shed. Mm-hmm. The book, I can't quite place why it's there, but part of me thinks that the Scarecrow is coming back.
Okay.
And maybe I'm just hoping. And the reason that really seals the deal is the eye at the end of the video.
Okay.
Where your eyes don't go. And the Scarecrow comes back, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit on live stream.
Okay.
So that's my guess.
Okay.
I would say my guess while watching it was with the books and everything. I was thinking a Newton return.
Ooh, now that's a terrifying idea, honestly.
Agreed.
So we can't have Newton come back. I'm actually close to getting a world title shot. And the worst part, I every time I faced I was in a world title match with Newton, I got one role play away from him, and I'm literal fingertips. Mm-hmm. I could see Newton though with the book and all. Another thought is a part of me wants to say Mother could be a return, but Trevor's already got a new character in Aesop, so I'm doubting it. And the last guess I had was Zombie Eli Forever.
Okay.
Book Eli. I think I have a good reason for it.
Great guesses. Yeah, at least one of the people that you mentioned, I designed them to be a red herring for that person, so that worked.
Well, fair enough. So you got us hooked.
So So yeah,
not one of us.
So yeah, the videos are cool. They came out really well. There is a shit ton of video coming for Red Snow. The intro sequence is like 2.5 minutes, which is multiple stuff strung together, but should be pretty cool. And then potentially assorted things to happen during the show, but that's just a slight spoiler.
Well, slight spoiler or not, it's got me super interested. It's Red Snow, so I'm interested no matter what. But now I'm like doubly hooked. Let's
see. Dean put those questions up for the prediction game. Let's see. We'll go through those here. How many deaths do you foresee?
Seriously, I'm predicting we have. Actually, are we counting times Darby Sorrow dies?
That's a good question. I don't know how the official scoring will do that, but I did not take that into account when I thought about it myself.
So let's count all of Darby Sorrow deaths as one, if he were to die at all. Mm-hmm. So I'll put one for Darby. Part of me wants to say that outside of the one possible Darby Sorrow death, because he's going to die. Well, at least I think he's going to die. He might even die mid-match.
I was going to say that'd be a hell of a false finish.
Oh, I'd actually written that as a false finish for when he faced Beg at Lockdown. Yeah. And as I wrote, I'm like, wait, I shouldn't put that in the match if Dean doesn't want him to die mid-match. He's going to come to me about that.
Yeah, he would not be happy. I didn't
have time to question it. Yeah. I'm gonna say Darby Sorrow going to count as one. Part of me wants to say Veritas is going to die. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because Sam switching a character sounds about right. So I have a feeling that Veritas is going to die, and I think last but not least, part of me also wants to say we might be saying goodbye to someone like maybe Luke maybe Luke Marshall. I actually don't know if Luke has role played at all. Like now that I think about it,
I can't remember if he has or not, but he was going to be one of my guesses.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's nothing against the guy playing Luke he has roleplay, just that I myself have not kept as good as an eye on roleplays as I probably should have.
Yeah, and a lot of guys will come in with one character and switch once they get a handle on what we're doing.
So, right, once they learn how our gimmicks are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say we have 3 deaths, and those are my guesses. But counting Darby as one.
Okay. Rob, what do you think?
I'm gonna guess 2. I'm gonna say Luke Marshall and maybe someone like related to Luke Storm, like his daughter or something.
Ooh,
that's harsh. Maybe you guys will get to vote on it too.
Oh God, I still remember as like, hey, should Crowley kill a baby or a grown woman? I'm like, the worst part is like I was thinking like, man, my character's a monster, but I'm not sure he's gonna kill a baby.
I think it was wasn't it that the week after that, whenever Dean made the 4 people in the world title scene have to win a match to get their shot.
No.
Or was that before that?
So no, that one was Jake Jekyll had just won the title at Ring Your Dream.
Oh, it was that long ago.
Yeah, and Dean had made that because he was pissed off at Anton and whoever played Bobby Neptune, the guy.
Dan. I think Dan was it.
I
didn't know it was that far back. Okay.
Yeah, he gave them like actual decent matches because you were part of that. You had to win your match as well. And I think you beat somebody. I think you beat Marvelo actually.
Maybe I was the only one that won.
Yeah, because that was back during the reign of Lane, where you were like Edward Newton levels of unbeatable.
Yeah, whenever the title was on the line, anyway, I lost plenty otherwise.
Actually, you were undefeated for about 5 months. Remember, because James Hunter beat you on a normal show, like a regular show, and I remember this because people kept saying it was like the segment of the night was him beating you, and Dean's like, that doesn't make sense. He just won a basic match. He didn't even win the title.
Let's see. Do you guys think Veritas escapes?
I already said he's going to die, so no.
Okay. What if he escapes and then dies?
Well, fuck, man, I'm wrong. So it's a solid maybe.
I set it up. I set it up for him to escape and win his freedom, and it's on to Sam to do it. No pressure.
All the pressure.
Rob, what do you think?
I'm going to say no.
No, I agree with that. Maybe. Again, I think he's going to die in there.
Okay.
Like he survived death once. He's not going to get lucky the second time, you know. But next question though, does Darby Sorrow give location to the item? And this one I think Laner can actually answer because I think weren't you writing the Veritas and Mez thing? Am I wrong?
Yes, I was writing that one.
So you can actually answer this one.
About Darby Sorrow?
Yeah.
I think he does. I mean, I think that's going to be the push into season 2. I don't know. He may not even give it up. It may be something that somehow or another the location of the item will be revealed.
Yeah. So actually, that's a good tangent of does he give it up? And does it count if he doesn't give it up as they find it out? Which I'm assuming it doesn't.
Right.
I'm gonna say that he does give up the location. Actually, maybe his fucking son is actually immortal too. Who knows?
That would be a neat twist.
Yeah, like is it like hereditary?
Yeah.
Also, fucking. By the way, hats off to Darby Shaw for being the first bisexual character in OSW.
Right.
Is he the first?
What's funny is actually on that note, when Dean was writing the Stephanie Rose, Doubt, and Smiley storyline, he actually had to ask me if Smiley was gay.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't have a straight answer for that one. I'm like, maybe, dude. I don't think that far ahead. But actually, I think Darby is the first like openly bisexual character we've had. Unless you want to, actually, is Casey bisexual? Or is she gay?
That's a good question. I never really thought that far. I think by the end of it, I kind of decided that she was just a lesbian. But who knows? I mean, I guess I should have probably known, but
dude, I understand that. Like, no one knows what their character's actual sexuality is until it's brought up.
Yeah. Funnily enough, on the topic of gay characters, went into something. Red Snow last year, was that where Shadow was killed?
Yeah, Shadow died at Red Snow last year.
Yes. I had this long storyline, like 2 pages in Word, written out that I sent to Dean, where Shadow was gay and he'd had a relationship with Nightwatch. I think that was the character's name, because Nightwatch was originally pitched as being Solomon Rhodes' son, and that was going to be the big revelation. And so he was a former Templar Knight. They had a relationship, and Nightwatch chose duty over love, and that pissed Shadow off, and it led to a feud.
Honestly, though, I actually have Shadow as gay. That's why I was imagining him as. And I remember, like, one of the things was when I was talking to Dean about pitching an idea for a Black Mirror storyline, like one of those quick blurbs to write. My first thought was, Shadow. The reason he's a black angel is he burnt up coming to Earth to save a guy he was in love with.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have been far off. I actually would have loved to read that storyline.
Yeah, the pitch is gone. I've deleted it somewhere. I don't know where it is. But I had it in my head forever, and finally I decided to pitch it. And he was like, well, I've got something else in mind.
Okay. You're just a little bit too late.
Yeah, but anyway, it didn't matter because Nightwatch left shortly after that. And was Nightwatch even his name?
He was the new Nightwatch. He was Red Wings. Like, I think you wrote that storyline where he was like Red Wings. Like it's Robin.
No, that was Darkwish.
Darkwish.
Nightwatch was the Templar Night guy.
Yeah, for some reason I mixed those two names up. Yeah, no, Nightwatch. He was killed by King Arthur. He was stabbed in the chest and put in a coffin.
That's right. Because his sword or something came back during one of the later King Arthur stories. Okay, let's see. Will Luke Storm save his daughter? I hope so.
I'm gonna put it down as a yes. And Rob,
with my guess earlier, I guess no.
Okay.
Like Lane said though, like maybe he saves her and then she dies.
Could.
Yeah.
See the true heel.
What was that?
I said the true heel turn. Oh my bad.
Your volume is way low, Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, I said like could die in his arms or something like that.
Yeah.
That's true. So I'm gonna say she gets saved. I feel like that's a very heroic moment. I think Luke Storm kind of. I'm not gonna say he needs it, but it would be very good for him.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Especially if Stormborn is going to be the January pay-per-view, that would give some heat going into facing off with the world champ.
Indeed.
For sure.
With on the topic, who do y'all think is going to win the world title match? Because I feel like that's going to be kind of a hot topic of debate here.
I haven't read either of them, or I don't even know if Matt's role played.
I think he just played a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Okay, but I haven't read either of them, so I don't know. I think that Matt is able to win any given week. So I don't think you can count him out. I think Alex has been on a hell of a roll with Beg. like
He definitely has.
just killing it, and I wouldn't bet against him.
See, yeah, both of them are really good, and I know that Matty can like pull out like massive, like earth-shattering role plays when it comes to a pay-per-view, like when he won Pandemonium last year.
Yeah.
My review though, I think Beg will win purely because of the hot streak Alex. Actually, I read his role play, and it's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't read either of them, but I'm going to give it to Beg. Yeah, he's just been on a tear lately.
Like, I think Alex Lee came into his. I'm gonna call it the inner freight train Ferguson, is playing just the worst character known to man.
Man, Alex has gotten his head on straight. It seems like in life, but definitely as far as OSW goes, just with this whole season. Like David Manson he handled him very well, but Beg has been on another level. He's been a top guy from the outset, and very well deserved run to the title.
Indeed, I think Big is well done for sure, and overall, I'd say it's gonna be a close one no matter what though.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how it all ends out.
Well, do you guys think on that topic that Alton Whitlock will remain with Imperium?
I am going to say yes, but I think the reason why is he's going to be forced to remain with Imperium, like be it blackmailed or maybe even like they put like a stipulation before the match, or if he loses, he's going to be like the whipping boy for Imperium.
Yeah, I can see that. I said no in my prediction, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of having buyer's remorse. I feel like he stays with Imperium one way or the other. I could even see it being something like he loses or even wins the match, and then it seems like there's a big falling out, and then he shows up and helps Beg do something after that.
See, personally, what I would like to see, and I know it won't happen because. I'm like going to assume it won't happen. I would love for like the ultimate, like, because Alton still has like that face-leaning tendency. Mm-hmm. I think the ultimate heel turn would be him they enter the ring and the match is like a paragraph of Alton like laying down and taking the pin.
Yes.
Like it's just something to shock us when we read it. Like, oh, Alton he's actually just part of Imperium now. He's not like forced or anything. He's just he's just a dick now. You know.
I dig that. That'd be a neat little twist.
That'd be a great little tie-in.
Indeed. We actually skipped over a question, but will X find out the truth? I can't answer this because I know the answer.
Oh. I feel like he will. I don't know what the truth means. I mean, because there's probably a lot of truths that he could find out, but I'm going to say he does. I think X will have an important night at Red Snow.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. It seems like the night of, if there's going to be a night of a big reveal for X, it's going to be Red Snow.
Or at least something to push his story into the next season.
What's actually kind of interesting about that is this is the storyline I was going to pitch to Dean but decided against because I didn't think it made sense. Mm-hmm. I wanted to pitch the idea of X being upgraded with parts from Vanguard.
Ooh.
And the reason I didn't do that is because I felt that Goldern would not actively steal something else's design. He's too prideful for that.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then I rested myself for that one. I was like, but what about inspiration causes like improvements or whatever, or some like line like that. But it was an idea that I was kicking around before I decided I'm just gonna let X just toy with I'm gonna let Goldern just test out X in whatever upgrades he may have.
I got my hands on a bionic leg for Dawes Studios, so if we want to upgrade him, if you want him to lose his leg, I've got a bionic leg I can put on it.
It's like literally just kicking ass.
Yes. Let's see, with one new character reveal expected, will we see any more?
I'm gonna say yeah, honestly.
Okay.
I can see somebody giving up a character so you put that call out.
That's one of the reasons I'm saying yes. The other reasons I'm still harping on the fact that I think Regis is gonna die. I don't want him to. I think he's a great character, but I feel it. Like I can feel Sam's need to write a new character.
Yes, I can see that too.
And the thing is, like, it's actually funny is Veritas reminds me of a Sam played back in IWF called Volnero. Right down, like he's got the mask, he's got the personality, but right down to the eye gouge finisher.
Didn't he handle a character that was just named Mark or something like that? He was just a guy out of the crowd.
He was just some fat dude named Mark who would want to be a wrestler.
That's amazing. Sam
has done some amazing characters. He had Mark.
Mark needs to come back and feud with Junkrat.
Honestly, like, that'd be a hell of a feud.
Yeah, let's see. And then, of course, the old standard, who opens the show, who closes the show, which is always tough, because it's usually, no one is ever close.
Honestly, my guess is that it's going to be Sigil, Butcher, and Sorrow, because we left off last week.
You know, we did. I should have put Sigil on my prediction. We had a cliffhanger.
Because Sigil, if you've read the show, Sigil is never far from the Butcher.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say the show. I don't think that Sigil is gonna be in the show close with Butcher and Sorrow. I think that segment's gonna be done early on in the night. Mm-hmm. But the show closer, I feel, is gonna be the entirety of Imperium and the new guy.
Okay.
And the reason I say Imperium is this is coming out on a left field guess. Part of me wants to say that Golden's catching in at Red Snow.
That's a tough one. I don't know. It could be possible. Man, it's tough. The want is always there to invade at the big shows. Like I was super close. Like had even discussed invading at Red Snow last year before Dean said, "Hey, trust me, but I'm going to kill Wildcard." I said, "Okay." So no invasion.
Honestly, it would have been funny if he said, "Yeah, sure," and he killed off Wildcard without even fucking telling you.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I'm going to talk to Dean after the show tonight.
Yeah.
And only for Soul Vibe to cash in, which have been like massive.
Yeah.
And I remember I wasn't informed that about the Nocturne, the Shadow dying thing during that.
Yeah.
So I watched the show. I'm like, oh, I'm about to make a new character. I was a little shocked by that. I mean, that's stuff like that at Red Snow is what makes me love the event so much because everything is like out of left field.
Yeah, and I feel like there's any manner of things that can happen. This is probably the first Red Snow since we've been doing the live shows where I haven't felt like I knew what was going on going in. Because last year I knew that the Troy is low-key thing was coming and thought it had something to do with the gods, and I knew about the Noah. Maybe not specifically that it was going to be a baby named Noah, but how the whole storyline went, because I was doing half of it. And so it's nice to be in the dark for this one.
The funny thing is, like, I've been part of the creator for every Red Snow so far. Mm-hmm. I'm still caught by guard. Like, I've actually had my own stuff. I can't remember. One year, I think Dean actually changed some of my segments a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was shocked during the live show. I'm like, wait, I didn't write that. And I was okay with it. I'm like, man, that's fucking great.
Yeah, Dean is not afraid to do what's best for his vision, which is good. It's always important to have an overriding vision, I think, and I think it's cool that he's doing all the segs for the show because it'll really give a better vibe to it because he can do all the big moments and at least on my part it was nice to not have any segments to write. Yeah,
I have it's nice to not have to write anything. I actually have one segment I am writing that Dean gave me free reign on. Mm-hmm. But I'm not commissioned with segment storyline is for. That's not anything like super massive, but it is the end of the storyline.
Okay.
And it's actually speaking of like stuff like Red Snow and like stuff happening. I remember y'all know how Jack Jekyll came back last year at Red Snow or the year before that for the Noah storyline to help Jake.
Yeah.
That happened because the week of Red Snow I pitched the idea to Dean because I was like it popped in my head and Dean's like, yeah, sure, just write your role play, send it to me. And so that was like a last minute add in.
Yeah.
So like Red Snow's full of like stuff happening all week. I think it's a good Christmas tradition, honestly. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah, it is. It's the biggest show of the year. It's right at the end of the year, and we know it's closing a season. Or I assume. I don't think Dean's actually said that. It's my assumption. I think one of my AMA questions for him was about the seasons and how they're going to work. But I don't know if he said if he told everybody how long he decided this volume was. But
the volume itself might be pretty long, I think, or at least decently enough. But as far as like the seasons, mm-hmm. I tend to think that Red Snow's into the season every time it's happened.
I think so. I think if it hasn't, the only exception would be the first Red Snow, because the making things fit logically for the first couple seasons, since we did them all like 2 years later, like as far as breaking it down into seasons was a little weird. Because the first season didn't end at Ring of Dreams, it ended at the show after it.
Yeah.
With the chopper, the block party event where it was in some random neighborhood. And then the chopper, like one of the coolest shots of OSW, Rage roster coming down from a chopper into the ring.
And honestly, that storyline, I love that because I remember Dean. I didn't talk to Dean for like a year before that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was about to head into college, and he messaged me one day on Facebook. He found me. Hey, you want to join an EFED? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to join an EFED. And that's how it ended up with me coming back for that. And then that entire thing was awesome. That entire visage of Jake Jekyll. We had Azazel or Azrael, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
And then Solomon Rose. Which I remember you couldn't play Solomon because you would have had 3 characters.
Yes, I had, and it didn't occur to me that he wasn't going to let me handle 3 characters. So I thought I was going to be role-playing 3 characters, and every week I kept wondering why Solomon wasn't being booked. But I couldn't do any other characters because Casey was a tag team champion and Lane was a world champion. So I couldn't, or he was at least contending. I don't think he was champion
he
yet.
was contending.
But so it just didn't work. And then finally I asked him one day and he's like, no, he's just an NPC right now.
Honestly, like the tag finisher for those two, like I think there was quite Light and Darkness was the coolest tag finisher I think we've had.
Wasn't it like a powerbomb super kick thing?
It was. It was a damn good finisher.
Yeah.
Because remember, like you guys showed up during the Sweet Dreams match, which which is honestly the Sweet Dreams match is always like one of my top 5 matches of the year, no matter what happens.
Yeah, it's always a good multi-man schmoz with a decent gimmick attached to it. There was the one that was in the Asylum. That was cool.
I came in second for that match. I was so sad. Because I remember, like, it was like, it was hyped up. Like, wait, the only person that knows the way out of the Asylum is Lee Crowley. And then fucking Hysteria showed up.
Yes.
And that was honestly a great news.
I think Rob is lost because he doesn't know any of this stuff we're talking about.
No, I was here for the Asylum one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a few months after.
Okay.
What's funny is that I've actually... Okay, go ahead.
I remember fighting for a chance at that Asylum match.
Oh, that's right. We had the you had to qualify for it, and that match was star-studded. We had actually I was Smiley at the time. We also had the Scarecrow who went on to win it. Mother, I think we had Nigel Royals in that match as well. It was a lot of like really like big names at the time. I can't remember 2 of them, but that's probably just because I'm dumb, unless they're not.
Well, I mean, it's been a couple of years, and
yeah.
And who knows? Was Bruce Van Chan in it?
Bruce Van Chan might have been in that one.
Yeah, he's the one who beat Qualify.
That sounds right.
He actually beat somebody.
Yeah, we might second Mother's Tale. It's okay.
We make a lot of fun of Anton, but he actually had a good run. He wasn't fucking around and being a dick.
He did. He had a good run. I think he was one of the guys that, and there's a few other people I think who may fall into this who got lost or maybe left behind the more that the style morphed into the parable stuff that we do now.
Yeah.
There's definitely people who were top guys who got left behind as that happened. You know, like thinking of Isaiah Black, who was a big name in early OSW, and then like a world champion, and then he just sort of faded out. And I mean, that may have had something to do with the handler. I don't really remember the handler very well. I think he works for What Culture now, though.
He does, which is really funny to me. His name is Andy, and I've seen him on What Culture on occasion.
Yeah.
And I remember I had to explain to my friend, because remember I'd beaten him right before he decided to leave after his second Isaiah Black run.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because he came back.
Yeah. And remember, I talked to my friends, like, yeah, he was in my EFED. I beat him once, surprisingly. I don't know how, but I did it.
Whenever he came back, he was not as effective as he was before. I think purely for the reason that he wasn't doing the right style that we had at the time.
Yeah, because we were just then transitioning into the idea of doing like themes and stuff. I think he was more of a trash talk oriented character, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And the funny is, I think he actually left OSW to go join. Like, what was it? I can't remember that dude's name. He's like the biggest dick in e-fetting.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't think of the guy's name either.
Ben
right
Holcomb.
now.
Ben Holcomb.
That guy, yes.
And actually, on the topic of him is because he did what was his fed? It was like UTA.
I don't know.
It was something like that. Which the guy who played Alex Reese was his champion in there before he came over.
Alex Reese. What was that guy's name?
Fuck, I think his name was like Chris or something.
Something like that.
The worst thing is, I used to talk to that guy like near like daily. I can't.
He was very active on Skype, and then he just wasn't.
Like again, I talked to him. In fact, he was in Rage, and I remember back when he was in Rage, he asked me for pointers on how to do stuff in Rage.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't quite grasping the style there. And again, I talked to the guy a lot, and then he just disappeared off the face of the map. Like no one knows what happened to him.
Yeah, who knows?
In fact, speaking of people disappearing, though, Stephanie Rose.
Forever the weirdest disappearance from OSW. Whatever that, I don't even remember what the guy's name was.
Sean.
He was like all in. He wrote so much stuff, and then he sent Dean that message or something, and then was just gone.
Like he got burnt out instantly, and he just fucking appeared.
Yeah.
And I have no clue what happened to him fully. He just because again, me and Damo talked to him all well. Like we got along pretty well, and then he just disappeared on us.
So. Probably going a little bit longer than anticipated.
Have fun editing this, man.
Yeah, right? That'll be something to do tomorrow while I'm trying to not work. No, I have a lot to do at work, so who knows when this will be posted.
Yeah.
So one thing I did want to ask you guys as we start to bring this to a close is, so the kind of the thing that I want to do with this sort of format is have people on and discuss either storylines or just various pieces of OSW whenever we have multiple guests on. You made me think, Dawson, that it would be fun to do a Rage Invasion show and talk through that, why it was important, maybe some of the background to it.
Yeah.
There's so much that can be, so many major storylines that can be gone over that people don't know anything about. And it's a lot easier to do it in this format, I think, than, making a giant post about it, which I've thought about doing. But, because, there was one time I tried to go through Scarecrow versus Brent Kirsch. Actually, it was for our first year. We did an awards show for after 2015, and that was storyline of the year, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I went back and started to write down everything that happened, and just the first year of that story was so dense with stuff. It's a lot of stuff that wasn't really relevant to the story after that, but because there was some guy named Pitchfork or something that was like Scarecrow's handler or something like that. It was a lot of stuff,
really?
But just stuff like
never
that.
Heard of Pitchfork.
That may not have been his name, but there was some guy. It was very maybe first or second month of OSW. But there's a lot of stuff that I think would be neat to talk about, and I also want to do one-on-one get to know yous with the handler where we don't really talk a whole lot about Fed stuff. Just kind of, hey, tell me about yourself, and kind of go through that. So that's really what I want to do. I think it would be a pretty decent piece of content to put out there, and it's always good to know your fellow handlers, and maybe even get some people feeling more connected than they would otherwise.
Yeah, I think what would be interesting to also do is if you can if two people are having a storyline that you can actively pull in for a three-man talk, what are your views on this? What are your views on this? How do you think it'd be better? Yeah. That type of thing.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
And what you could even do, I think, is because you could make a 30-minute talk or a 15-minute talk out of one subject.
Yeah.
So you could probably even do I'm gonna talk to these groups of people, and make get 5-minute segments for a 15-minute podcast.
Yeah. There's so much potential out there. It's just a matter of mapping it out and finding the time to do it. Because finding time to meet with people is not always the easiest thing.
Yeah, and
especially since I gave you guys about 6 hours of notice before this today.
Yeah, I remember you messaged me, and I was like, man, I gotta work out tonight. Hopefully I can get back for that. And I actually ended up going in earlier, or else I'd have been tired as hell for the first 10 minutes of this.
And just let it be known that Chris declined to come because he didn't want to cough a whole lot because he's getting over a cold, which is acceptable, but just wanted to say that so the people that usually give him hell can give him hell.
So Scoot?
Yeah,
yes.
Scoot and Alex.
Yes. All right, so closing thoughts on Red Snow. Rob, go.
Closing thoughts. I can't wait to see what Dean pulls out, and really looking forward to that new character that or maybe old. We'll see with the coming soon videos.
Okay, short but sweet. I like it. Dawson.
I'll be honest. I get $20 a Scarecrow. Maybe I just really want to be a Scarecrow, but I get $20 a Scarecrow. Outside of that, though, I'm just excited to see where the storylines end and exactly how we're going to be going into next year.
Okay.
Especially with the Storm King, Sigil, and Darby. I feel like that's going to go on for another month. And whatever new characters might be introduced to.
Yeah, right on. So Red Snow, biggest event of the year, which may not be entirely accurate this year because Ring of Dreams capped off a volume, but the biggest event of the season nonetheless. So it should be a hot one. Join us, 8 p.m. Eastern. Do your own time zone math to figure out other time zones. Sunday night.
Leave it to Dean to do the time zone math. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. See you there.